So morning everyone, we might get started. My name is Jo Shepherd, I'm the CEO of the Queensland Farmers Federation. Before we do get started, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners on the land on which we all gather and pay my respects to leaders past, present and emerging. A big welcome, thank you for joining us this morning. As you know, an exciting event for QFF and the industry last week in launching Jobs Queensland. We're going to hear from our Phil from You Working for most of this session, who's going to give us a really good work through of the platform, which we're all looking forward to. I guess just by way of summary, as we all know, the workforce shortage is really having an impact across the supply chain in agriculture in Queensland, and fair to say across most industries in Queensland. So we're very excited about Jobs Queensland. It is a sophisticated job matching platform, which I think is going to really help businesses across the ag sector in Queensland connect with prospective employers. And I also think it's going to be a great platform for people who are currently working in the ag sector for their next career move, or people who are interested in working in the ag sector to connect with career opportunities. So the job matching function is it's bread and butter, I guess, but the other aspects that we're really excited about, longer term in terms of helping the ag sector build that sustainable pipeline of workforce, is that it's going to be a great platform to showcase the amazing careers that are available in the ag sector. I think that's something that we as a sector need to get better at. We're seeing a whole range of new skills, new jobs come online. I was actually at an event this morning where people were talking about the shortage of spatial and data scientists, and how the demand for those skills is doubling every 6 months. So I think this platform is going to be a really great tool for all of us to be able to showcase the careers and I guess showcase the jobs of the future. We hear that term a lot, but I think this is a tangible way that we're going to be able to help with that. It's also going to be a platform where we can provide support for people looking to work in the sector, but also obviously for employers who are looking to fill roles in the sector. So we are recording this session. You'll have seen the pop-up in your screen. So if you do want to turn your camera off, please do. If you don't, that's fine as well. If you have questions throughout the session, Phil's going to run through a presentation first up and step us through a few things. But if you do have questions, please put them in the Q&A chat, the questions chat. And towards the end of the session, we'll go through the questions and answer any questions that you guys have. So without any further ado, Phil, it is my pleasure to introduce Phil from You Working and to hand over to you to give us a walkthrough of the platform.
Great, thank you, Jo. I'll just share my screen, so just bear with me a moment. Okay, can you all see that screen?
Yes.
Yeah, great, thank you. So firstly, thanks, Jo. Thanks to the Queensland Farmers Federation team for welcoming us on this call, but also trusting us with an important asset for the Queensland farming and agriculture community. So I'll touch on a few things today in this presentation, but I thought I'd just give a little bit of a backstory as to who we are at You Working. So as Jo mentioned, I'm Phil Cooper. I'm the Managing Director at You Working. You Working builds technology platforms for organisations and communities that have a need or concern in 4 areas: workforce attraction, workforce upskilling, workforce mobilisation and workforce redeployment. Almost all of our customers and partners are intermediary bodies in some form, meaning they represent the interests of many job seekers, many employers and many industry partners. We have about just over 100 platforms live across the nation, and so you can head to You Working and see those after the presentation. So I'm going to touch on a few areas on the call today. So first up, I'm going to talk through the subscription plans that are available, the employer dashboard that you'll have access to as employers and recruiters, how to post a job and successfully promote your jobs, how to manage applicants, how to convey your employer value proposition, how to talent pool and create an intelligent shortlist using our smart matching technology that Joe mentioned. And then we'll talk through smart matching to your live jobs and then smart ranking applicants and selected talent. At the end, we'll have some questions and as mentioned, to use the chat function if you prefer. So first up, what's different from Jobs Queensland than perhaps some of our previous platforms is it's built on the YouWorking Talent Community Exchange platform. Under the Exchange platform, it's a marketplace for job seekers, employers and industry partners. And it's really industry-backed, industry-owned model whereby funds contributed by employers are reinvested back into the platform and the success of the platform. So for a small subscription fee, employers get full access to the employer tools and the employer dashboard on the platform. Within the website, there's a section under employers where there's a products and pricing page. Within that page, you can see that there are a bronze, silver and gold subscription plans to suit your business in terms of size, but more importantly, your hiring needs. There's simple payment through credit card, or you can request an invoice. At any time, you can upgrade and downgrade your subscription plan. So as I said, if you've got seasonal peaks in your industry or your sector, you can scale up as you need to and then roll back when you don't need to. And there's discount promotion codes available to industry members of Queensland Farmers Federation and the peak bodies. We can talk more about that at the end. Each employer who is a subscriber has access to an employer dashboard, and this is a single location on the site where you can post jobs, you can manage your applicants, you can add, edit and update your employer profile, you can search the talent pool, which are called SCVs on our platform, and smart match the talent to your live jobs, and you can access your talent pool at any time. I'll explain more a bit about this in a moment, where I'll show you an image of how that looks. The next part's around posting a job. As I mentioned before, you can post jobs based on the subscription plan that you've activated, and you can upgrade and downgrade at any time. You can add a logo against every job, and this helps separate your job from, or make it stand out from other jobs on the platform to convey your brand. But also set it apart from jobs that are added through the YouWorking job feed. When you add your job, you can link the apply button, and you can see that in the blue text in the bottom right there. You can link the apply button to your jobs posted elsewhere. And the benefit of this is that you don't have to double handle applications to your business. You can use a URL for your job on your careers page or your applicant tracking system, and the apply button will redirect the applicant to that page. Alternatively, the system has its own inbuilt applicant tracking tools, and I'll show you those in a moment. All of your jobs will be reviewed and approved by an administrator, and we're able to automate your job post into the platform for gold subscribers. Once you've posted your job to the platform, there's quite a few mechanisms to kind of elevate or maximise your reach. First up is that each job has a unique URL, and so you can share that job to your network via email, or you can copy and paste that link to blog posts. You can also share the job to your corporate and personal social media networks through Facebook, Twitter and LinkedIn. And you can see an example in the top right there. It carries what's called the open graph image of the website, so it helps to also promote the platform as well as your job. Each job can be printed as a poster, and you'll see in the bottom right, it's a QR coded poster with a unique link to the job. Sorry about that noise in the background there, if you heard that. That QR code means that if you display that job poster on your shop front window or in your tea room or at a jobs expo, a person who is reading that job poster can learn about you, but more importantly, they can apply, they can share, they can interact with the opportunity through the QR code and the unique link. As I mentioned before, you have access to the employer dashboard where you can manage your job applications. And so here's an example of what it would look like if you did have a job. You can access all of your jobs and all of your applications from this dashboard. You can view and download the resume, CV and cover letter of applicants. If they've applied, you also obviously have their contact information, in particular their email address. You can shortlist and archive those applicants, and so you're shortlisted of those of preference, and you can edit, close and repost your jobs at any time. From that same dashboard, you can add your employer profile, and the employer profile is about showcasing your business and your employer value proposition. So the purpose is to provide an engaging description of your organisation so that job seekers can understand who you are, what you stand for, maybe some of the livability factors in the regions that you operate. Your employer profile gets automatically attached to your live jobs, and that's based on your employer name. And there's a view profile link added to each of your job posts. So obviously the job seeker can read about the job, but more importantly, read about your organisation. And you can invite your colleagues to collaborate and edit your profile. The next part that the system has is the ability to talent pool passive talent, and you can search and match CVs to do that. So smart matching and the smart ranking technology within the platform accelerates your connection with job seekers. You can use the advanced filters to search talent and build a talent pool, and you can see those advanced filters in the left-hand side. You can smart match talent to job description documents for future job roles. So perhaps you don't have the job ready right now, but you want to understand who's available in the market. You could upload a job description and the system will smart match against that document. And as I said before, you can accelerate your connection to job seekers by smart matching the talent to your available jobs. And as you can see in the image in the bottom right, you can then select that person to add them to your talent pool or select them to add to your live opportunity. So the way smart matching works when matching it to a live job is the system reads the job details and uses artificial intelligence to match the talent that are already indexed within the talent community, being Jobs Queensland. And the system delivers what we call a fit score against that CV. And you'll see in the image on the right that that's shown in a traffic light format. So what the system does is it shows, other than the fit score, it shows the fit of the CV to the job, but importantly, the fit of the job to the person based on where they are in their career. And the match results can then be filtered with those quick dials that you can see in the right-hand side, or you can use the advanced filters that I showed you on the previous page. So as you dial up and down education, job title, skills, industry or management level, the score of the individuals and the ranking of those individuals will adjust. You can then select the CVs to a live job, or as I mentioned before, you can add them to a talent pool to work with that person later. The next part's around smart ranking applicants and selected CVs. So you can rank the applicants that have actually applied for your job proactively and rank those versus the CVs that you're interested in to build you an intelligent shortlist. And what happens is similar to what we talked about with smart matching. With smart ranking, a fit score is applied against each of those parties, and then they're ranked in order based on best fit to worst fit. Again, you can then filter those results using the quick dials, and you can contact their CVs of interest. Obviously, you can contact the applicants because you've got their contact details. For CVs, you use the inbuilt communication tool and you contact the individual through the system. So any questions? That's I guess the summary from an employment standpoint. I might just stop sharing so that I
It might be worthwhile to take everyone through how they can actually use the AgJobs platform to profile their business and some of the inbuilt functionality that supports that to really profile who they are and what they can offer, not only to the ag sector, but as an employer.
Sure. So why don't I share my screen again? Hopefully this works. So on the website, there's a section on the site called employer profiles. And as I mentioned before, this is where you can convey your employer value proposition. So there's a scroller on the front page, and importantly, there's a directory where those employers' profiles can be searched by a potential job seeker. This is a good example that was in the presentation I just showed you. You can see RCS has put some description and images about themselves, about their brand, and about working with that organisation, in particular aspects around pathways within that group. So based on the employer name, this profile would be attached to their live jobs across the system. And so if a job seeker completes a job search against that job result, well, here's an example here against agriculture and fisheries. This is a job that was posted today. You can see there's a view profile link. So if I expand this job, we can obviously learn a lot about the actual job role, but also, as I mentioned before, learn about working for the department, and that's their information there around their career profile, etc. Oh, sorry, their employer profile. Any more questions?
I have a question. It's about the matching tool. So just wanted to know understand a little bit more about how that works.
Sure. So I'll show you the section on the website. Let me just share my screen. So there's a section within the employer dashboard, which looks like this. There's a section here called Search Air CVs. Once you select your profile, your plan, you'll be able to access the Search Air CV capability. No matter which plan you choose, the Search Air CV capability is there. So the way it works is, stop sharing. The way it works is that an individual adds their AirCV to the platform. When they add their AirCV, it's their resume document. That document is then what we call parsed into the system. So the system reads all of the content of that resume. It's then stored as an index within the Talent Community Index. When you then add a job, the system can then read the job when you click the Match Talent button. And it's in the same way that it parses or reads and indexes the resume, it indexes your job, and it's then able to use the AI technology to look at the fit between the job and the talent pool or the AirCVs that are on the system.
Sorry. Again, more clarification. So you have as an employer, I want to know who is matched with me.
Yes.
It will immediately like a report that will give you from what is available or the resumes that are available there who already matches you. Is that?
Yes, that's correct.
That's how it kind of the employer gets the information, gets just a list of them or a resume or.
Yeah, I was hoping to sign in. I'm using another party's computer here. Oh, here we go. I'll be able to show you exactly how it works. Just bear with me a moment. Okay, so I'm back in the screen now. I've just signed in using a different account. So as I mentioned before, you've got an employer dashboard and a member dashboard. Under the employer section, under search air CVs, can't access it at this point, unfortunately. Just bear with me and I'll stop sharing. I'll sign in with my own profile. Okay. Right, so I'll take you back to where I was. So I was on the employer dashboard. I clicked search air CVs. So these are all of the components that I could search the talent pool by, and then I can apply those filters to search the talent pool. I also have the option of uploading a non-live job, and this is where I can choose a document and the system will smart match against that document. So that's where you can complete those aspects. I don't actually have a job in my employer dashboard to show you the smart matching capability, but that was on that presentation I had before. And when you click that match button, it then uses what you would do as a simple search yourself. It uses some smart matching capability to create that fit between the job opportunity and the available talent. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yes. So you get a, like, if I put a job advertised, then you click it and then it will match it to what is already there, and then you get a list of the.
Yeah, absolutely. So you've got both options. You can proactively search based on things you're interested in, or you can let the system do that searching for you using its smart technology. Jeff just had a question: how much does it cost a job seeker? And the answer to that question, Jeff, is nothing. It's completely free for a job seeker. The purpose of the platform is obviously to start winning the talent for Queensland's agricultural sector. It's obviously important to keep that at low or no cost. In this instance, a no cost for the job seekers. So yeah, it's completely free for them to use all of the functions within the system. They can create job alerts, they can shortlist jobs, they can create their CV, and they can learn about the great careers within the sector.
Does this Air CV guide them to complete the required information step by step?
It does. I'll show you Air CV. Let me share my screen again. So SCV, as I mentioned, each person has a member dashboard. I won't go there because it's got my personal information. But under job seekers, if you click on AirCV, all of the information around what AirCV is, you can click these tabs to go through that. So I suggest you have a look at that after the call. There's 4 simple steps. They could create their unique URL. They write a short elevator pitch about themselves. If they don't have a resume, they can click this button and it will guide them through the process. If they do have a resume, they can upload that document and the system will, as I mentioned before, parse that information and it will create that document for them. They can then deactivate it and edit to tweak it to make it, as relevant as they can. But it does a pretty good job on its own. So I really suggest you give this a shot just so you can understand what it's like for the job seekers. But it's quite an innovative tool used across our whole network.
Thank you.
I just had another question from Jeff. Can they post a job that they'd like? So I assume Jeff means the job seeker posting a job that they're perhaps interested in. The answer to that is no. However, when they do a job search by any parameters, they can save that search as a job alert. And I can show you an example of that, and then hence Jobs will find them. So if I share my screen again. So let me just search agriculture, click go. You can see create an alert, and I simply add my email address because I'm already signed in. And if I'm not yet a user, I can add an email address. Once I've created an alert, I can access my alerts from my member dashboard, where I can go in and click them at any time, or I can edit or delete them. The system then sends, in this instance, myself an email every few days with matched opportunities, and that brings them back to the system. So subscribers' jobs are always at the top of that list. So it creates that distribution of your opportunities.
So just to clarify that, Phil, for the example of agronomy, which Jeff's put in the chat, so a job seeker would simply type in agronomy and set that as their alert, and then relevant agronomy jobs would then find them.
That's correct, Joe. I'll show exactly that one. Hopefully there's some agronomy jobs. So there's 5 jobs in the last 7 days. I'll change that to all. And there is 17 jobs at the moment across the system. For an agronomist, they can then save that as an alert, click that create that alert button, and that'll be saved to their member dashboard. Obviously, if they add agronomy as a keyword to their CV, then the employers would obviously be able to find that person based on that skill set.
Austin, you've got a question?
Hi, yeah, it may not be for the You Working guy. Just in context for my role, I'm an employment facilitator for across Wide Bay and Sunny Coast. So obviously, I guess I'm going to see this from a different point of view, not an employer point of view. I do appreciate today's presentation is about employers. So these local platforms are very good. Like I know You Working also work with the Fraser Coast Council and also now the Sunshine Coast Council, and these local platforms are very effective. But I just want to share something with you. It's a Hollywood model mindset, right? So Hollywood spend $50 million making a movie, but they spend $150 million promoting it. And so I guess one of the key things for the success of this site, which looks beautiful and is laid out really well, is that it's only going to work if a large majority of the people seeking employment in that sector know about the site, because otherwise employers are going to be putting jobs up on there and not really getting a lot of receptivity from it because a lot of people don't know about it. So I guess I know this is a work in progress. I know it's just been launched, but I certainly am doing my best to promote it already. I've done that already at a Workforce Australia meeting this week in Bundaberg. But I guess from a Farmers Federation point of view, what strategies you guys are going to try and use to try and infiltrate the market so everyone's aware of this. Because this is otherwise it becomes on the dot in the ether, if you know where I'm coming from, because there's a lot of local initiatives out there, and it's really important that it will only work if the majority of people know about it, not just employers.
Yeah, it's a great point, Austin, and obviously, you know, there's the employers and then there's people, prospective employees. So part of our strategy is to connect with the network across Queensland that works with people who are looking for work. So we've been developing quite a targeted list in terms of who those stakeholders might be. Also, obviously, connecting in with universities, with TAFE, with education providers. So that's certainly part of our broader strategy. But we're very open to ideas and helping us build that network, I guess. So any further suggestions you've got would be appreciative of. And then in terms of the business model, a percentage, and I think it's as much as a quarter or a third of all the income that comes in through this platform is immediately reinvested in terms of marketing, and that marketing spend will be both to attract employers and employees. But I think you make a really valid point. In order for this ecosystem to be really dynamic and work for both parties, we need to have really active engagement from employers and employees. So it's a really good point.
Joanne just had a question. The question is, can you register for an alert email?
Yeah, and look, just quickly, I'm certainly in my role going to promote the hell out of it because, you know, to support it. Anyway, thank you.
Sorry, a question from Joanne was, can you register for an alert email on roles available without registering and building a profile? And the answer to that, Joanne, is absolutely. So when you create the alert, you can add your email address. The very next step, the system will ask, would you like to register as a member to moderate your alerts and be part of the talent community? If the user decides to bypass that, there's a skip button and they can bypass that. In that instance, they'll still receive the alerts, job alerts on email, and on those emails is a cancel alert button so that they can remove that alert or unsubscribe from that alert. Joanne's just asked another question. Excellent. This can be shared with job seekers. Yes, that's correct. Lauren has a question or a statement, and we'll share via Employ Toowoomba. We have a local jobs board, but having a specific one for ag will work in hand with our local community and all industry focused sites.
That's great. Thank you, Lauren, and others who are going to help sharing it. Yeah, Anna's just put a response in. Anna Jones is on our call. Anna's head of corporate partnerships and communications here at QFF, and Anna has developed a whole suite of promotional materials that people can utilise to share and promote the platform with both employers and with prospective employees. So Anna will get that out to everyone. And yes, we need to get the word out so that people know that this tool is available. The other bit we might touch on, Phil, before if people are running out of questions, is the opportunities to support the ag sector via being a champion of agriculture or a champion of ag. So we have had some interest from potentially businesses, individuals and big corporates who don't directly work in the ag sector in Queensland, but really value the sector in terms of how important it is to our community and to the Queensland economy and Queensland rural communities. So there is an opportunity for those businesses to become a champion of ag and to support the platform via that channel. There's a component on the platform which showcases who our champions of ag are. So there's also that opportunity as well. But Anna, I don't know whether you wanted to, if you had any information in terms of the promotional suite of goodies that you've created that you'll be able to share with people to help promote the site.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have developed a promotional pack about Ag Jobs Queensland, and we have resources that are targeted at employers and also resources that are targeted at prospective employees. And then we also have a suite of joint resources which in general promote the benefit of Ag Jobs Queensland for the sector for both employers and prospective employees. So included in the pack, we've got flyers and social media tiles, newsletter tiles, all of the content's already pre-written for you. If you just needed something that you could copy and paste. So any support that we can get in terms of getting the word out there about the platform would be absolutely fantastic because as it was mentioned earlier, the more we can get the word out there, the more that we can actually get prospective employees actually using the site and employers, the better the benefit will be for all of us collectively. So I will share that pack with all of you that have attended the webinar today, and you are free to use that as best you can throughout your channels. We would appreciate any support. And of course, if you do have any questions, or if there is anything in particular that you would like developed that would be relevant for your networks, please definitely get in touch. You'll have all of my details after I send that email. So definitely reach out to me and let me know. Happy to chat through any opportunities that we might have to get the word out there with you. So yeah, thank you.
That's great. Thank you so much, Anna. And yes, we did only launch last week, but it's live and it's ready for work. But it is going to be a work in progress. So we would really appreciate all your feedback and engagement along the way. Down the track, we will be organising a session like this just for job seekers or prospective employees. So when we have that session organised, we'll be back in touch. And pertinent to earlier comments, that'll be an opportunity for organisations that do work with job seekers, or for job seekers themselves to actually log on and see how the platform might work for them. And then later in the year, or during the year, we'll run some more sessions for employers as well. So we'll keep the engagement going, but your feedback really welcomed along the journey. Does anyone have any, before we wrap up, any last minute questions? Or Phil from You Working, or anyone else on the call, any closing comments before we wrap up? Anything from you, Phil?
Well, thanks, Jo, for having us, and thanks everyone for your kind comments and patience while we dealt with some of the technology issues there. The platform, as Jo said, it's ready to go. It's fully functioning. Obviously, would love your support and endorsement. But it's been built over many years, in fact, a decade. So it's, tried and trusted. So yeah, we're excited to be working with you all.
Thank you, Phil. And it's great to have Jobs Queensland powered by You Working. As you said, you've got a decade worth of demonstrated excellence in this space. So it's been really great to work with you on developing this tool for the ag sector. I think there's no more questions, Anna, you can't see from your end. So I think we'll wrap up the session. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you for joining. And we look forward to ongoing engagement with you. I think the workforce challenges are not going away overnight. I think, the next year or two, this is going to be an ongoing challenge for the sector. But even longer term than that, I think, our opportunity to work together to really help the ag sector build a strong pipeline well into the future is ahead of us, and we're certainly keen to continue to work on that with you guys to achieve the short-term, medium-term and longer-term goals for our sector. It's an exciting time to be in agriculture. We are poised, on the precipice of significant growth, but we do need to be able to access, attract and retain a skilled workforce to be able to realise that growth. So it's a really important space. It's not a short-term problem, and it's not a short-term fix. I think it's a long-term strategy for the sector, which will have flow-on benefits to the whole community. So well worth our time. Nothing more from us. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Thursday, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Sharon.